Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Whiskey and Wealth Wednesday. We are going to continue our series of the 13 wealth management issues. And today we're going to talk about incapacity planning. Before we do that, of course, tonight drinking Noble Oak Double Oak Bourbon. I would actually say that this is a great starter whiskey for somebody who's just trying to kind of get going in their journey of drinking bourbon, whiskey, and so forth. So at any rate, incapacity planning. To me, this is one of the most important issues that we could talk about. In the Asset Protection Wealth Preservation series, we talked about long-term care planning and what would happen if something happens to you. And really the reality is, whether this was before COVID, during COVID, or after the COVID era, there's always going to be something. I think one of the central questions people need to ask themselves is, what happens if I'm unable to make decisions for myself? What happens if I can't speak to my spouse or to my children or to my business partner or whomever else because I am incapacitated? And this week's chapter that drops really dives into the importance of having somebody that you appoint, and sometimes it could be somebody's, like a team of people. Durable power of attorney, there are 3 key issues to consider there. And then also we go into a kind of a list of the mistakes that folks make. I'll give you the first one. It's not having a plan. Probably not much of a surprise, but there are other mistakes to consider. And I just really think it's important to ask yourself the question is, have I identified who is going to be able to make decisions when I'm unable to? And has that plan been communicated effectively? And there's a whole lot more than that, but this is actually a 3-part series just within the series about protection issues. Next week, we're going to talk about beneficiary designation and titling, and I'll share with you a real-life story that happened next week. So check out the chapter when it drops, and please check out the various modalities that we're using for the social media platform, and cheers.